defenders stepping forward. Actually, William Carvalho there was to tiptoe forward and get in behind that Czech defensive line. It all stems from, again, that formation with Neves helping out in midfield. They can step forward and cause problems, the other two central midfielders.
Got a few set-piece options, Portugal, haven't they? When you consider who's out there, Bruno Fernandes is going to take the corner. Ronaldo makes a near-post run. That's a good punch from Vansley. Only as far as Bernardo Silva. William Carvalho to drag it back across, and in the end it's fired just wide by Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unsure defending choice. Sima, as the intelligent ball is played there from Bernardo Silva. He actually gets in the way but doesn't really clear his lines. He gets his feet in a bit of a mix-up there, and that presents the chance to Diaz. That's such an intelligent pass from Bernardo Silva. How many times have we seen that? It's the right option. He's in the right place, Zima, but then it's just his reaction when the ball comes off. He does well to get that second block in.
So it's another corner. Whipped again towards the near post this time. Good little period of pressure this from Portugal. There's Ruben Neves, now Bruno Fernandes. Nicely done. Now then, what can Klozek do? He's a player who frustrates Czechia fans. As I mentioned at the top, gets another chance. Cap number 19, just one goal so far, and in patches he really shows what he can do. Just a defensive point, a specific thing, Andy. Previous corner but one. Really good punch, I thought, from Vansley. Got it well away from the edge of the penalty area. He's got the right to think a defender would clear that, hasn't he?
Well, the goalkeeper has to be dominant. If his defenders can't get to the ball, Portugal are a big side, so the goalkeeper clearly has that extra reach. He has to come and deal with it. Yeah, defenders can't always get to the ball first, and that's why the goalkeeper has to be on his toes. Anything around the 6-yard box, you have to come and deal with it.
It's Mario Rui. William Carvalho, and it ricochets through towards Ronaldo. The goalkeeper came there. Free kick has gone his way. You just wondered for a moment, as Vansley was struggling, if he had got there first.
Yeah, this is a horrible collision. Both players clearly have to go for the ball. They're both only looking at the ball as well. It did look initially as if Ronaldo got there first, was maybe then caught by the goalkeeper. This is a horrible injury.
It is. It might also, I know this isn't the number one concern. The number one concern is Ronaldo, but they might just want to look at this. Portugal were talking to the referee there. We do have Bastian Danker as VAR. Of course, it has to be clear and obvious and all that, but let's take a look at, was he offside?
It's a forward ball. It's played by Cavani. It comes off Barak, but clearly he did look. But again, they seem to probably just about get there at the same time, and the goalkeeper has to come and deal with that. You can't think, oh, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, I won't bother. They do just get there at the same time, but it initially looks as though Ronaldo was just slightly offside, but you can understand him trying to get to the ball, an early leap. The keeper has to come and deal with it. It's just accidental, but it's horrible.
Yeah. The fact he was in an offside position rendered it irrelevant anyway. But Vansley got a touch, didn't he? Yeah. Just though. Had he not, it's a really interesting one. But as I said, our concern is for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a nasty blow.
Yeah, but also he can't defend. He can't really get his arms up to protect himself. He's only looking at the ball. He's not had even a single glance at the goalkeeper. So if his elbows may be up, he can protect himself. But there was no protection there. That's why. Clearly he's come off worse, but again, there's no criticism of Vansley at all. He had to come and deal with that and was clearly playing the ball.
The referee just managing the situation. A touch of anger there from Fernando Santos, but that's kind of his resting position. Fairly angry coach. They, of course, getting the work done. They can't take him off the field. They have to deal with this here.
I think also, coaches, when you see a serious injury or blood like that, you presume that the opposition must have done something wrong. But again, the referee can't think about the injury, has to assess that situation. It's unfortunate for Ronaldo, of course, but because he's picked up an injury doesn't mean that he was fouled. He wasn't.
It will also just be a natural concern. Best player is injured, not just for this game, but the one on the horizon. He's one of those, by the way, on a yellow card, Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he going to be able to continue here? They'll have to make absolutely sure that they can stem that flow of blood. Look like they've done that, but whether it comes back to haunt him in 5 minutes or so, they'll have to wait and see.
It's not just that, Dave, it's actually get a whack on the nose, your eyes start to swell as well. So the problem will be is whether he'll be able to kind of see, but that is clearly a painful injury in itself. But it's just whether, again, he has any swelling under the eyes, he won't be able to carry on.
One of the most remarkable things about Cristiano Ronaldo is his durability. It's something that isn't really talked about enough.
Astonishing resilience, absolutely. Yeah. His recovery, his discipline, his attitude. And again, that's a great example of that. He only had eyes for the ball, wasn't looking to injure the goalkeeper. He was just looking to score and came off worse. But you're absolutely right, his application to the game is extraordinary.
And actually, in any other situation with any other player, prized asset, big game on the horizon. Obviously, interesting club situation at the moment, but you'd take him off, wouldn't you? But Ronaldo won't want to come off. Remember that Euro final? On one leg? Still didn't want to come off. We're still trying to coach them. Hopping around. Incredible individual. Czech to play it wide. Sofal was challenging. Floating roll, you can see Barak trying to get involved. Schick went for the spectacular, which he is capable of. Now Yemelka.
It's the first time we've seen Sofal, the right wing-back, step forward. The wing-backs are vitally important. When you play with three centre-halves and wing-backs, if you dominate the ball, you have to get those wing-backs forward into advanced positions, as we saw there with Sofal, and then can they deliver it? It was an excellent ball in that he played.
We can see what's going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a great tussle down that Czechia right. Mario Rui down the left for Portugal. Fantastic buccaneering fullback, and they're going to try and run beyond each other all night. You'll know plenty about that specific battle, Andy.
It's not easy when you're a fullback in a back four playing against wing-backs, because at times you can never really get close to the wing-back. You're relying on maybe the midfielder in front of you to do that job for you. You can see there Mario Rui is really struggling to get close to Sofal. That's again because the distance is between them because of the formation.
Oh, that's a worry. Oh no, it's an arm, it's okay. I thought for a second it was something muscular in the leg, but it's his wrist that he's feeling, and guess what, he's back. Well, it's remarkable.
Yeah, in the lead up to the game it was all Schick against Ronaldo, and it's amazing that both those players, the talisman really for their teams, have picked up injuries in the opening 18 minutes of the game. Let's hope they can carry on, because they're so important to the way that their teams play and the chances they have of winning the game. They need to stay on.
There was me trying to show the fullback some respect by making it Mario Rui against Sofal. I give up now. Here's Barak. Czech.
The Czechs have to be so aware of the Portuguese counter-attack. Shalabi talked about a lot in the build-up to the game that Ronaldo and Portugal are very dangerous when the Czechs have the ball, because you lose it, they break so quickly. That front three will be back at you so quickly, so your defenders have to be on their toes when in possession.
Interesting to see that long diagonal. Rafael Leao the target, and if you do have someone playing out wide who has that pace and has that centre-forward instinct, it's a useful ball to play. It's hard to defend, isn't it?
But it has to be a long pass, it has to be accurate, it can't be hit and hoped. Clearly it's a tactic, but it's how you deliver that ball for Leao. Don't just lump it forward and hope that he gets on the end of it. You've got to play to his strengths, and it's a long pass, and clearly Portugal have the midfield players to make that pass work.
Remember that great Napoli team, Marek Hamšík, the instigator. That was always the pass for Callejon, and the wide players. It's wonderfully effective if you've got someone who can play that pass. Not everyone has. Portugal have to be fair.
But the way the Czech Republic play with the three centre-halves, they push, say, Sofal on down that right-hand side where Leao is playing. There is space there for him on the outside of the right-hand-sided centre-half. So again, they're utilising that and exploiting that space in behind the wing-back and getting Leao in that position when they win the ball back because Sofal is up the pitch.
This is interesting. There is change coming now.
Schick hasn't really looked happy since he landed awkwardly and he was holding that forearm. I'm just wondering, with that he's the player that might have to make way.
That was my instinct as well, Andy. I sort of brushed off that injury when I saw it was to his wrist, but if he's broken it, then of course he can't really carry on.
It's such a shame for him in the game if he has to go off.
That's a miscue. Praised him for his cross earlier. Diogo Dallo will blame that one on the pitch.
He should be doing better. There is no bobble there. It's just a poor delivery. He has teammates in the box. He should be whipping that ball in on the edge of the 6-yard box pretty comfortably.
Yeah, it is Schick, isn't it? It is that left wrist. Has to be a cut, doesn't it? It's been trodden on. It's obviously a boot. That can be strapped up, but of course the medical team will have a much closer view, and if there's swelling there, it's tough for him.
It wasn't actually the heavy landing, because someone's clearly trodden on him as he landed. Painful.
It's Dallo. Bernardo Silva. There are many remarkable things about Bernardo Silva. As we see Fernandes go back into position, but one of them, as Schick comes back out, is just that ability to find space everywhere. You look at players positionally, but someone like Bernardo Silva, without almost noticing, pops up all over the field effortlessly.
He's a truly astonishing player, and his work rate, the amount of ground that he covers, is legendary. He's an amazing technical footballer, but he works incredibly hard, whether it be for Manchester City or for Portugal. Every game he covers so much ground.
Well, Schick is okay. It's Jakub Brabets who's going to be replaced by Andre Kudela, who was voted the best defender in the Czech League last year. He's now gone to Jakarta to play for Persia. Might as well at 35.
But it is a like-for-like change. You slot it straight into the middle of the back three, so it's not as if you have to then reorganise your back three. So you don't really want to take off one of your main defenders, but if you have to do, the least disruption, the better.
Like-for-like's always better, isn't it? William Carvalho. Now. Portugal have little passages like this. They like to keep a hold of the ball and just establish their tempo.
Tempo is key. They need to keep that tempo up. You can see the Czechs settling back into a good defensive setup. Hard to break down, so Portugal have to move that ball quickly. 1 and 2 touch football, moving quickly on a slick pitch.
There's the thing about this pitch, for all the problems with it, it allows them to play, and boy can they play! Bruno Fernandes picked out Ronaldo. He takes a long look at the pitch. Bernardo Silva recycles. Just a blur of brilliance, but in the end maybe a bobble cost them, if we're being kind.
It's a magnificent forward ball from Rafael Leao. He's a player who can do things himself, can score goals himself, but he gets his head up and he plays just the right pass. The weighted pass for Bruno Fernandes was outstanding, and Ronaldo just opened his body up, but the first thing he did when he got it wrong was look at the pitch, so I'm presuming there was maybe just a little bobble in there.
Here's Kral. Make a positive contribution there, Alex Kral. I'm 50-50 on whether that took a bobble, by the way. You're buying it. We'll see a replay. I reckon it's half and half.
Ronaldo is vastly experienced. If he gets it wrong, he's clearly going to look down and blame the pitch, because he never gets it wrong.
Not in his mind. Here's Barak. He's having to drop that little bit deeper. The referee got in his way, and Barak just chastises him.
Just go back to the opportunity for Portugal. There's the pass again, the vision, the weight of pass for Bruno Fernandes. Unselfish work from Fernandes as well. Could have taken the shot on himself, tried to lay it on a plate for Ronaldo. I think you're right, he just simply got it wrong. It's difficult when you open your body up like that. If you mistime it, even the greats can get it wrong. Bruno Fernandes again making that break into the Czech penalty area, whether it be down the right or down the left, is causing so many problems. Just breaking from midfield, the Czechs aren't picking up those forward runs he's making, and he should really have been punished.
I think cynicism's 1-0 up there. Can't believe you fell for that. We may have other opportunities, we'll see. At least someone's 1-0 up. Goalless here, 25 minutes in, but very watchable. Here's Rafael Leao. Look at the run there from Mario Rui. Took a defender with him. Now Ruben Neves. More space now for the Napoli man, Mario Rui. Nicely delivered too, just maybe a bit too much on it.
It is a decent ball in, but both his targets made a move towards the near post. Really, they got to split. One go near post, one go far. Both of them went near post, the ball went far post. But the way the pattern of the game now is settling down, it's a game maybe with Portugal dominating the ball with their attacking play. They could win this game 2 or 3-0. For the Czechs, it's not going to be like that. I can't see them scoring 2 or 3, so maybe they've just got to stay in the game for as long as possible. Maybe try and pinch a winner on the counter-attack.
Nice feet there. And Dallo for Ronaldo. Picked up by Ruben Neves. Mario Rui just sets himself and lets fly. Yet to score an international goal. Good catch there in the crowd. Inevitable photo to follow.
Yeah, but it is a waste from this position. He's got options. Rafael Leao in space to his left, just keep the attack going. If you shoot from that distance, his teammates are going to say at the very least, you have to hit the target. You blast it way over the crossbar, it's a complete waste.
He is one of those fullbacks who has a terrific left foot and just doesn't score enough. Hasn't scored a domestic goal in 3 years. I'm not going to start a conversation about left backs who flatter to deceive, but it is funny when you see the tools, both right and left backs, the tremendous left foot, and you think you get, 3 or 4 a season. Easier said than done, I know.
You've got to keep trying, that's the main thing. That's all I did. It never actually worked out, but I kept on trying.
Always remember that famous goal that Nigel Winterburn scored, that wonderful long-range hit, and the look of shock on his face when he ran away to celebrate said it all.
You try and pretend that you do it every day in training, but you know you don't, and you react like that as well in a match situation. When you do score, you just don't know how to celebrate.
That's the tell. Here's Czech. That was poor from Zima, just dwelt a bit too long in possession. Slipped forward by William Carvalho. Now Bernardo Silva, this real will-o'-the-wisp down that right-hand side. Movement from Ronaldo. Mario Rui, the spare man again.
Portugal got a real grip on the game now. They're just up the tempo as well. The Czechs have been forced to sit deep. It's vital they stick together, defend as a team. Don't get caught out.
What a pass that is from Mario Rui for Bruno Fernandes, and the ideas were all right.
Once again, Bruno Fernandes breaking into the Czech penalty area completely unopposed. They have to start dealing with this. Usually be one of the centre-halves. There's 3 of them. There's only Ronaldo leading the line there, so the other centre-halves have to drop, have to appreciate that forward runner, Bruno Fernandes. If they don't get a grip of that, he surely eventually will be punished.
There's Kral. Forward by Mario Rui towards Rafael Leao. It's bravely done by Vansley, good with his feet. Does like his teams to play, Shalabi, and here's Czech. It's very easy on the eye from the Czechs. Goodness me, Barak. What about this for a passage of play? It's Antonin Barak. If they convert this into something, this is goal of the season so far, but it goes wrong. So foul, with a terrific ball in, and Barak heads wide. Czech here have come to the party.
Absolutely. Again, you can have a philosophy of playing out for the back, but putting it into practice against a high-pressing team, not easy. Just wonder here whether Barak and Schick actually get in each other's way. It's a wonderful ball in, a really considered ball in. I just wonder whether Barak doesn't maybe see that until a little bit too late. It just completely mistimes the header. That's the problem. He's not marked by anybody. He just completely mistimes it. He keeps it on target. By heading it down, it would zip off the surface. Diogo Costa would have a major problem. It's a big, big chance for the hosts.
8 international goals in 31 caps, good goal-scoring record in Italian football as well. Ever since he scored in his debut against Denmark, Antonin Barak.
But also it's intelligent movement, because he is playing down that right-hand side, but because Sopar was out there being the provider, he moved into the more central position, a goal-scoring position, and really he should have been opening the scoring.
How good was that passage of play, as you've already said? Wow.
Yeah, it's not easy when you've been under the cosh on a heavy pitch against a pressing team. That was really confident football.
But for all the fun and games, it remains goalless. Chances, incident. Still nothing really in a game that Portugal, as we said at the start, have to win, really. They both do. Both on the front foot. Here's Bruno Fernandes to roll that through. Rafael Leao arriving and in. Dalot coming in from that right-hand side to slide it home. Wonderful bit of recycling from Rafael Leao that made it. And in the end, it's a good finish, albeit one with which Vansley might have done better.
And it all starts with Dalot actually bursting from his own half. He's under pressure, he's been closed down, but he backs himself and he just steps forward. But the important thing is, when he plays the forward pass, he then becomes an attacker. He doesn't just think, well, I'm a fullback, I'll just stay in my own half. He plays the forward ball and then he follows it. He gets himself into a goal-scoring position. It looks as though Ronaldo's going to score. Leao does incredibly well to pull this ball back. But look at Dalot's position. The right back who's continued his run is there just to turn it home. And I did worry for the Czechs, because we know that Portugal have this attacking quality, but we would have expected Dalot to be the man to open the scoring. But he starts it with positive play, and he gets his reward for following that positive play up by getting into the Czech penalty area. And he does the right thing. He keeps it on target. It's not the most convincing of finishes, but he goes through Vansley in.
First international goal for him. As you say, a slightly surprising goal scorer. And what would you say? I know it's all happens very quickly and it's instinctive, but what would you say about Vansley? On another day, he saves it, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he does turn out it very quickly, and it's difficult to get you in your position right when the ball has gone from right to left and it's pulled back. It is difficult, and it's hard to blame the goalkeeper. But just looking at Dalot, his involvement there was like João Cancelo when he plays as a right, but that's exactly, it was like watching Cancelo step forward there. That's the biggest compliment you can play Dalot. It was like he was being Cancelo. That's clearly what Fernando Santos wants from his fullbacks.
Good in play, Mario Rui. Well, he'd have been happy with the way that his side had started, but in many ways the goal was coming.
Yeah, but he goal backs that big opportunity for Barak. And again, you're probably not going to get too many opportunities in a game like this against a defence like Portugal have. So when an opportunity ahead of the edge of the 6-yard box comes along, you've really got to take it. Again, they didn't, and now they're behind, chasing the game.
Jeleni. Had a few options in there. One of them here is Kral, and I know it counts as a shot on target, but it always seemed unlikely from there.
I'm sure he's not trying to score. I feel this is a cross that he's probably got wrong. He's looking to whip this ball in and actually gets it wrong, but the goalkeeper has to be alive. He's maybe anticipating the cross, but he has to protect that near post, and Costa did well.
10 to go until half-time. Portugal deserve to be in front. Klozek with that corner. Whatever happens, Czechia need to score the next goal here. I think 2 would be too far in front. Here's Barak, plenty of space for him. They don't think he can hurt them from there. Now Ronaldo. Pele always used to talk about the power of the simple pass. And with these highly technical Portuguese players, you do often see it, you know, it's all about the movement around the ball. The pass itself is nothing spectacular.
Yeah, the genius in the football in many ways is its simplicity. Just pass and move football. If you do it very quickly, it is incredibly hard to defend because nothing moves faster than the ball. That's why the great modern science is not about physicality necessarily, it's about playing and getting into space, getting on the ball. Bernardo Silva is a great example of that type of technical player.
If you want to learn about that, our younger viewers, have a look online at the 1970 World Cup final and Pele's pass for Carlos Alberto. There you go, that's the power of the simple pass. There's one for the teenagers. As Portugal look to grab a second goal, using wonderfully simple but very difficult way of playing. Bernardo Silva. Here's Rafael Leao.
On many occasions, that simple pass is the hardest one to make because as a player, you think, well, surely there's something a bit more complicated or a bit more impressive that I can do. And no, just pass and move the ball, get your teammates on the move defences around. It's what the great modern sides do.
Bernardo Silva. Here's Mario Rui. Fernandes gets another chance and it falls for Ronaldo, and it was going to be either that or something spectacular.
Well, I'm really surprised he's got this wrong because it's a brilliant piece of movement off the ball from Bruno Fernandes, and then once again great awareness, great weight of pass, great vision. Ronaldo's body position is all wrong, and that's a real surprise. He's made his move, he's got himself into the space to score from, he's got away from Yamelka. That's hit him on the shin, and that's a real surprise. He's completely mistimed it, but Bruno Fernandes has been the standout individual in this first half of Portugal.
I know you watched that 4-0 win against Switzerland. Those 2 goals that Cristiano Ronaldo scored in that game, his last from open play. It's been a struggle.
He's done the hard work. He's kind of stepped in, then stepped away from the centre-half, created that attacking space, and so used to seeing him getting himself set because he knows that Fernandes would have seen him, he would have dropped the ball right on the money and he'd be ready just to drill it home, but he was kind of surprised when it reached him, which is again surprising in itself. One thing about Ronaldo Ronaldo, even though he's not had the best of luck so far in the game, he's got a whack on the nose, he's missed a couple of chances, he will not stop running and getting himself into goal-scoring positions. That's why he's had this career. He's got that mentality that the next pass will find me and I will score eventually.
And he's had to adapt, of course, as he's got older. A different kind of player. There's Barak. For all his quality, Barak, people underrate his strength. Really powerful runner and great in possession too. There's Bernardo Silva. He's just carried on his run here. Ronaldo's going to go at them himself, though now he finds Bernardo Silva. Ricochets through, Vatslik missed it. Czechia seemed to have dealt with that, suddenly they hadn't. I think everyone was still standing and marvelling at Bernardo Silva's feet there, just a blur.
Yeah, the goalkeeper panicked, he thought the ball was making its way to Leao and he just seemed to just launch himself. Not really convincing goalkeeping at all, but it was just that panic when the ball did get crossed, he felt like I have to do something. It's just about escape, but you're absolutely right. They cannot afford the Czechs to concede that second goal before half-time because it would be virtually impossible to retrieve the situation with the way that Portugal are approaching things.
Ruben Diaz, now Diogo Dallo. It's good from Kral, got in tight, not too tight to Bruno Fernandes. Well, the crowd is still behind Czechia. How big will that Barak miss be though once 90 minutes plus are done? Feels big at the moment, that was at 0-0.
Talked already about the ability to pass and move the ball quickly, Portugal, but their attacking flexibility. Bernardo Silva floating around the pitch, and if he comes in field, then Bruno Fernandes operates then where he was playing on the right hand side. So they have this understanding. Again, it comes from work on the training pitch as well, but they have these players that can cover the ground, pop up in a variety of attacking positions, and defensively that's absolutely what you don't want. You want to know where your man is. They do move around so much, it's hard to deal with.
There's Rafael Leao. Now Bruno Fernandes, he's got runners all around him and somehow can't pick one of them out. Bernardo Silva, here's Mario Rui. Oh, beautifully done to pick out William Carvalho, who was onside.
Yeah, it looked as if the Czech back line had actually stepped up and he was offside, but reaction there, he did look clearly in an offside position there. It's a comfortable save for the keeper, but yet again, Portugal dominates the game. This is the earlier opportunity where the ball broke, and it was just maybe a panic from Vatslik. He just launches himself. Rafael Leao is nowhere near that ball, but just there's a nervousness every time the ball is in the penalty area. I think Vatslik and his defenders just seem to panic a little bit. They're not sure, they're not in control of what's happening.
That was a real sense of panic. It was a strange one there. Maybe the goal's still preying on his mind a bit. Klozek, now so foul. They go head to head, and Mario Rui won that one. Kral now. Here's Barak. He tried to flight it, did the right thing, but they defended it well. Czechia have a corner.
We've seen them attacking much more down that right-hand side with Sofal. We've hardly seen Shaleni stepping forward from the left kind of wing-back position. So it's down that right that a lot of the danger has come with Barak and Sofal.
Curved in again by Sofal. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. And still might. And it hits Mario Rui in the face. I thought for a moment it bounced up onto his hands. Anyway, play will stop. That was a curious one.
It's Barak and Mario Rui. It just looked like the bouncing ball maybe caught him. Was there a bit of something in this? Did Barak actually catch him? I think it's that left arm. It's nothing about the ball and the legs, it's that left arm. He leads with that left arm and catches the left back in the face. That's what the Portugal players were unhappy about. You do have to be careful. He wasn't really protecting himself there. There was a bit of a swinging arm. You need to be so careful when you raise an arm in international football.
3 added minutes. One of the biggest controversies in Italian football this season involved Mario Rui and the raising of an arm in just about that area of the field. Manuel Lazzari in the Lazio game breaking forward, and Mario Rui raised his arm, and the entire world felt it was a penalty apart from the referee and the VAR team. It's one of those debated over and over, so it's interesting to see him caught in similar fashion, having been the villain that time. The way of footballing controversies these days is there's always a new one to take over, so it won't last long.
Absolutely, but look at this first half as a whole. It has been pretty much Portugal in control. The attacks from the Czechs have been sporadic, but they clearly have caused a problem. That opportunity for Barak is one they really should have taken.
Ronaldo. William Carvalho. Again, Mario Rui for Bruno Fernandes. It's all about picking the moment. It's all about picking the pass, making the run. It's just perfection from Portugal, and they do have their second goal.
Well, I don't know how many times I've said it throughout this first half. Those attacking forward runs of Bruno Fernandes have caused problem after problem. You've got the defenders back there for the Czechs, but what they're doing is that they're ball watching. They're not appreciating the run. You see Bruno Fernandes edge of the box. Alex Kral is with him. And then Kral's focus is on the ball, not on the danger, which is the forward run of Bruno Fernandes. You've got to give the Portuguese a lot of credit. It's a wonderfully whipped ball in. The timing of the run for the midfielder is excellent, but his run is not tracked. He's not dealt with. He hasn't been throughout this first half. And I said it's a matter of time before he punishes them. And that second goal could be game over. Wonderful ball in. Brilliant timing of the run, and actually playing the ball down into the ground means there's no chance for Vatslik, but that's the last thing the Czechs wanted. A second goal conceded before half-time. It's a long way back now.
It was such a good ball in, he didn't even need to catch it clean, Bruno Fernandes. He got into the position, and any contact was always likely to score.
You've got to do the defensive basics. Alex Kral is looking at Bruno Fernandes. Don't worry about the ball. Just stay goal side of him. Don't allow him to get to the ball ahead of you. They're just the basics, track runners. You've got to do that in domestic football, certainly in international football. You'll be punished.
This would be a good time to score. Probably be the final action of the half, and it ricochets through, appeals for a hand. Oh, they all went up there, the Czechia players, which is often a sign. They'll be looking at that. Let's see what they do when they recycle, though, with Barak. This could be a big moment. So foul with the cross. The leaping punch from Diogo Costa.
It did look like a Czechia player actually got to the ball first and headed it, and it did seem to strike an arm. It's a big call.
It is. Still looking, as you can see, the check is ongoing. You'll excuse the unintentional pun. Here it is. Go on then. VAR Hinchcliffe.
It's a dangerous ball. It's a perfect whip ball in, and you can see Ronaldo's arm. You can't say that's in a natural position. It's above. You know, maybe protecting his face, protecting that nose injury, and to me that looks a clear handball. We talk about, again, the rule is, again, an arm, a hand in an unnatural position, and you can't say for what Ronaldo was doing there that his arm was in an acceptable position, so Portugal, I feel, will be looking to escape here.
If he goes to look at it, it's going to be a penalty. It's whether they think it's clear and obvious. I think it is. It's unnatural. It's either a natural or unnatural. Protecting yourself isn't an excuse.
Of course, you don't want the ball to hit you in the face, but it's probably maybe an instinctive reaction for Ronaldo. The arm comes up, and no surprise they're checking this.
Bastian Dankan has told our Serbian referee to go and have a look. What a big moment this might be, right on the stroke of half-time. This is what he's looking at, Andy.
As I say, what they're looking at is that hand, arm in an unnatural position, and from that defensive position, his hand, his arm should not be there. So I'll be surprised if this is not a penalty.
Here's the decision. Huge roar tells you the story. Cristiano Ronaldo punished. What a lifeline this could be for Czechia.
Absolutely, completely changes the complexion of the game if they score just before half-time. But Cristiano Ronaldo is such a good header of the ball. I'm just wondering, that nose injury, that I just wonder whether his arm is there to maybe just protect him. And he thinks, well, the chance of it hitting my hand, my arm, are very, very slim. But it's happened. The right decision has been reached. What a moment for Schick.
No Rui Patricio, remember. This is Diogo Costa in the Portugal goal. Patrick Schick. So much quality. Can he keep his nerve here and give them real hope? Going into the second half. It is Schick and he blazes over. He throws away the lifeline. And that's a poor, poor penalty. And Ronaldo's mistake is not punished.
It's absolutely devastating for Czechia. He had to score there. Again, if the goalkeeper saves it, you maybe give the keeper some credit, but you clear the crossbar by that amount, you have to criticise the striker.
Here it is again.
Maybe just glances the top of the crossbar, but again, be absolutely sure that you're going to hit the target. Just take the pace of it, keep it down. Again, do the basics, hit a corner. The goalkeeper saves it, that's one thing, but that's a huge miss.
That is half-time. High drama, eh? For Portugal in front, Czechia 0, Portugal 2.